What is up, everyone? How is your Tuesday going? What is up, Delphin? How you doing? Racing Giraffe. It's been a while. 10 strong. That's an interesting ad. And Kit Cakes. How are you doing? Man, did anyone get a Valorant key? Is anyone waiting to get back on? I know the servers are having issues, I think, right now. Anyone excited about Valorant? I know Chewy got a key. I'm jealous. I'm mad jealous. I want to play. It's looking pretty freaking cool. I'm excited for this build. This is going to be probably my main board for a while. So I'm excited to kind of get into this, get it built, and have it replace the Baka that's been sitting on my desk for the last couple weeks. What's up, John? How you doing, my dude? Who else is here? Who else we got?
Osiris voice so damn clean it's like a classical music radio station.
Ooh, thank you, Heiny. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What is up, Wee Loops? How you doing? Agiller? Is that how you say it? How do you say that name? Designer of GMK Noel, which you can pick up. Canikeys. Use canikeys.com/Mex on deck. Check it out. It's running this month. Pretty freaking cool looking set. It's one of those ones. It's a lot like Waves was for me last year, where the more that I look at it, the more I'm like, I'm actually really interested in this. Agiller. Agiller. Okay. All right. I see it. I see it. Oh man, the days are starting to run together for me. I definitely woke up today thinking, I was like, it's not Tuesday, and it's actually Tuesday. I guess that's what happens when you're stuck at home. You lose the concept of days, the concept of time. But you know what? I've got mechs on deck and building boards, talking about keyboards to keep me sane. A giller. A giller. Like that? A giller? Like a fish gill? Alright, cool. You hit me with a smile. Alright, cool. Sounds good. Do want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. They do a lot for us. They make sure that this keeps going. First up's switchmod.net. You can go on over to switchmod.net/mechs on deck. Get 4% off lube. I know they are out of a lot of stuff right now, but you want to keep that bookmark because coming up in the next couple weeks, GMK Frostwitch is going to be running over there on switchmod.net. So definitely check that out, as well as pre-orders for Metaverse, both the desk mat and the key set. So if you missed out on that, you can pick it up. It's a little bit more than group buy price, but still pretty good deal for a very popular key set. Zap cables, head on over to zapcables.com. They're doing a bunch of cool stuff, helping out with the obviously COVID-19. Everyone knows it's a big deal right now, obviously. You can go over there, you can donate, and they will match your contribution, and you'll get some free things for your contribution. So head on over to zapcables.com, and if you're feeling generous, go ahead and donate. And then next up, Dixie Mech. You can head on over to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com. Pick up Nautilus 2, running this month, $115 base kit. It's a pretty freaking good deal. Lots of different kits you can purchase as well. So definitely head on over and check that out. Next up, Project Keyboard. Head on over to mechsondeck.project.link. Check out Bingsu. You know, a lot of the stuff that he's got is kind of out of stock. He actually does have some 205 grade 0 for, you get 15 mils, which is a lot. They are running Masterpiece in May, as 10 Strong is saying. But you can actually pick up some 205 grade 0 on over at projectkeyboard.com. They're one of the few places that have it. They also have the Bingsu extras are kind of up for pre-order as well. So you can pick one of those up. That way when it comes in, you don't have to wait for an extras to be released. You just get it like everyone else who got the group buy. And then of course, Canon Keys, like we mentioned, canonkeys.com/mechsondeck. Pick up GMK Noel, one of the coolest looking desk mats, very functional desk mat. It's got a space for your board and then a design where your mouse goes. So if you're looking to do a gender reveal, you know, maybe buy one of each and then, you know, give your lady friend, you know, they could be a cool way to do a gender reveal. That's all I'm saying. But Noel it's a beautiful looking set. But I do think there's a lot of potential to get it used in some gender reveal action. That's a big deal right now. And then of course Type Beast. Go ahead and sign up for their newsletter. They released their second one a few weeks ago. Third one I'm sure is on its way. So it'll keep you up to date with some cool stuff that's happening in the community. Make it to where you don't necessarily have to look all over Geek Hack to figure out what's going on. You can just kind of stay up to date without having to check out Geek Hack, be in every Discord, you know, watch a bajillion hours of keyboard content. You can just kind of like get a little bits and pieces and kind of enjoy yourself with that and and get someone's opinion. I think that's the other piece that's nice. You know, everyone likes to hear differing opinions. I know for me, when I am looking for something like tech related, I will watch like 4 or 5 different people's videos to get their opinions on a specific product. So it's nice to start having more options to get opinions from people. So having something like the newsletter from Typebeast is nice. But yeah, with that being said, I want to get into this thing because I want to get it built, because I want to play with it. I'm not gonna lie, I do have another, my laptop is sitting like on the table across from me watching a stream, hoping, let's hope I get a Valorant key. Let's hope, chat. I want a Valorant key. Chewy got one. I have not. I'm hoping for one, Brez. I'm hoping you get one too, because I know you are probably looking to play the game because you play Overwatch. I feel like everyone who plays Overwatch is wanting to get Valorant, because it's a little bit, especially if you came from CS, it seems to be a decent hybrid of the two, a little bit more on the CS side, but should be a lot of fun. Boom. Let's take a look at this bad boy first. Can't get your account to convert to Riot account? Oh, unlucky. Yeah, I watched all day as well. Chewy got one. Chewy got a Valorant link account. Not Geo did, as well as Sushi. So Chewy's like, you're gonna have to come over. Actually, before I open it up, I want to show off this packaging a little bit, because you know we talk a lot about packaging here on Mechs on Deck. This is awesome. You know, I know Dixie, he spent a lot of time on this board in general, designing everything, including the packaging. You know, this is awesome. You know, you spend a lot of money on a board, getting something like this, it just makes it feel even more professional, makes it feel even better. Yeah, Brennan's Sideshow and Custa actually were in the Twitch Rivals tournament, which is funny, I think. But Overwatch pros were not allowed to play in the the actually closed alpha or closed beta, like last weekend. They wouldn't let Overwatch professionals play. If you were in Overwatch League, you couldn't be a part of that. But yeah, so nice packaging. Nice and protected. I love these little card things that Dixie did, you know, because it gives you the information about when your board was made, what your board is, the color and everything. And you can put in your personal configuration and kind of save it. It's something that's like, it's a nice little touch, you know, it's the little things. Of course, Dixie did put together a fantastic build guide. Yeah, you can take this to a meetup, which is pretty cool. Like, and it'll just like sit it in the board. Looks nice. And I like the little note that it says. Thank you so much for purchasing one of our keyboard designs. We hope that your keyboard will bring you the same joy and satisfaction it brought us during the design process and bringing it to the market. Thank you for supporting us and helping us grow as a company. Mr. and Mrs. Dixie, how cute. How cute. So, I dig it. I dig this. This is a cool little touch. Especially when, you know, even at retail, you're spending a lot of money on these. So, and then Dixie did make a build guide, which is, it's a pretty crazy intense build guide. Not like it's hard, but he detailed everything out, made it super easy. So I'll put that off to the side. Your PCB with a little connector, which I actually haven't like opened this up and programmed it or anything. I don't know if I necessarily will have to, but with it being VIA, it's going to be real easy. So I'm not worried about it. If you haven't used VIA before, it's incredible. if you have the opportunity to purchase a PCB that uses VIA versus something that doesn't, I would definitely recommend getting something that uses VIA. Okay. Little ish. Oof. Never had to use QMK so far. Man, lucky. I mean, I remember like a couple years ago, before QMK, before MechMerlin really started making his guides, QMK was kind of a little bit of a nightmare to use because there wasn't anything definitive, and like the when it went to the web-based compiler, like it made it so much easier. I want to see how big. I actually haven't opened up this cloth. Holy crap. This is huge. This is so big. That's what she said. This is the largest. I never thought someone would. Is this bigger than? This has got to be bigger than the TX. Oof. It is. Dixie just had to one-up him, man. He just had to one-up him. This is literally like, I have a 6-month-old nephew. He could use this as a blanket, you know? Little baby Noah can use this as a blanket. Oh, dude, this is awesome though. Cause like in reality, if you wanted to, and I don't know if this is probably not the intention, but with a cloth like this, you could literally cut this into 4 squares. Just bloop, bloop, and then you've got, 4 different microfiber cloths that you can use for different things. Or you could just wrap up your board. Who knows? But I like the idea of cutting it into quarters and then being able to use it for different things than having 4, I'll put that guy back in there though. Put the stuff in there. That off to the side. All right. So this is the board. I don't know why I'm putting it on this, but you know what? I am. I love that it doesn't use just regular bump-ons. It's got the strips. Excuse me, which is really nice. It makes it a lot easier. I know, like on my 0siris, I'm already having to replace some of the bump-ons just because bump-ons, they're so small, they get worn down. Haven't had these as much. It is not as cushioned, but it still holds it in place. Obviously, as you can see, this is a gray top, brass bottom, and palm plate, which I am very excited for. Any intel on the Gateron Merlot switches? No, is that new? I haven't even seen those. If those were released like today, I haven't seen them. I know that they were looking at making some new switches just released on Novel Keys. Let me look it up. Let me see. Gateron Merlot. Let's see. Linear. 45 gram actuation. Dang. They're a regular linear. They ran out of China. I'm interested to see what the what What is the housing material? That's interesting. I wonder what the housing material is. It's like an off-white color. It's interesting. Wonder how many they have. Interesting. I didn't even see that. Granted, I'm not gonna lie, chat. Your boy didn't wake up till like... I got up at like noon. And by got up, I mean I physically woke up, but I did not actually get out of bed. And then I fell back asleep and woke up at 4:30. So I've only really been up for like 4 hours. That's the quarantine life, right? It's the quarantine life. Before we get started with the stabilizers, though, I kind of want to take this apart, show you all the different pieces. I haven't woken up before noon in weeks. You know what's funny is I've set my alarm to wake up every single day at 8 a.m. I don't think I've woken up to that alarm at all. Every day I wake up, it's like missed alarm. The big problem last night is I was playing Overwatch till like the wee hours of the morning. I was playing Overwatch until I normally like wake up for work. So, all right, let's see if we can do this. Nope, it's gonna be the other way. And just pull the brass out. All right. Don't drop. Okay. Alrighty. So this is the top. The Gatoron N1s. I have not. Is that the Merlots as well? Like, are we talking about the same switches? I would assume a lot of them are different, or the same switch, just like there's just like a recolor. Is it gonna focus? Focus. Young lad. Nope, doesn't want to focus. This is nice. It's super clean. Like the Cerakote is a pretty good job. Pretty good Cerakote. Cerakote is becoming more and more popular in the community. Gives people a lot of options. I know, like this looks a little bit darker than it is in real life because of the way the light hits it, but this is actually an olive drab green. But this Cerakote as well. Cerakote's an awesome option because you can always just, like, if I really wanted to, I could literally just take this piece to a to the Cerakote guy I used for my Baka and just say, hey, I want this top in a different color, and he could just strip this color off and put a new color on. Granted, I'd have to figure out what to do with the little strips. Whoever was bashing on the green Baka with Olive is insane. I think wasn't it Neb saying he just doesn't like sets that are like boards that are matched with the actual keycap set. Here, show it off a little bit since we're talking about it. Maybe where you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, it looks a little bit more green in person than it does here. But But yeah. It looks good. It looks great with olive. But back to this. I'm excited for this because of the palm plate, which is a Flexi Boy, which this was cut, I believe, by Mr. 159 from Project Keyboard for Dixie. And if you do not know, I love myself some palm plates. 0siris was one of my favorite boards. It was actually my board of the year for 2019. So I'm really excited to kind of put this in something that's a little bit more, not that the 0siris is not high end. Yes, this is my Bauer. Not that the 0siris isn't high end or not nice, but I'm excited to get a palm plate in an actual metal board as well. Just want to see if there is a little bit of a difference. Also, with this being gasket mounted, I don't currently own any gasket mount boards, so I'm excited for that as well. Whereas the 0siris is top mount, so the plates don't necessarily have to be sturdy, especially right now. That's kind of like the thing, you know. And like, it's funny how the community works. It goes in phases. I've always felt like this. Like, tactile switches get popular, then linear switches get popular. For a while, people were doing like really thick plates, like really thick, dense plates, and then now people are wanting a little bit more bouncy feel. People like to say flex. I like to say bouncy, because to me, it's not about the fact. It's not about the press. It's about the spring back. Like when I'm releasing a switch, especially like on a switch like the space bar, the bounce back is what's really nice. That's what I enjoy more than the necessarily the flex of the bottom out. But this is done super well. The machining is super clean. Everything looks great. These strips are awesome. This brass is she heavy. 'Tis a heavy boy. All right. Let's put this back together. Yeah. It is kind of funny though how the community just kind of like goes in waves. I'm just gonna set this on the top. I don't need you either. All right, let's get some stabs going. So since this is a split backspace, these are only 7U, right? Let's see. No, I dropped some. We are going to be using the Duroc stabilizers. The purple ones you can get from Novelkeys. I think for both Chewy and myself, these are some of the best you can get right now, in our opinion, at least, without having to do like the weird C3 hybrid, which is pretty cool, not gonna lie. I haven't tried that yet. I do have some of the C3 stabs. I haven't used them. I'd be interested to see if they work both ways. What's the C3 hybrid? Should I? Okay. Should I do it? I have them. Because I've got them. Which wire do you use is the question. Like them, not more. Which wires do you use though? Because you use the housing from the C3, right? Use the C3 housing. And then the stem from the Duroc, is that correct? You've used a gold wire? Okay. Yeah, the C3 stabs use a silver wire. C3 housing, Everglide insert. I mean, you know, this is an all-out board. This will be one of the nicest, if not the nicest board that I own. So if this is the premium feel right now, might be worth. I feel like the potential of the C3 stabs is so much higher as well. What up, Ann Bessa? I would say worth trying if nothing else. Yeah. True. Ooh, that wire's like way tight. My thing about the palm is palm, these being palm, it has such a high, like, over time it gets even better, right? Like I feel like cream color in V2. That's hard to get the wire in. Dude, I already struggle with wires regularly. I'm just completely destroying. I wonder what it would be like the other way around. Like, does it work okay the other way around? Like using the C3 stem with the this is me doing a very I'm not worried about the color. I could care less about the color. I'm more worried. I wonder if these housings would work well with the stems from the C3, because then you don't lose any ability. I know that they'll work together, I just wonder if they feel good. This has more friction. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna listen to Quakems. Have you used the Durocs? I'm sure you've used Zeal stabs and those before, so because it's all about the same, right? And you'd say that these are better. This hybrid is better. There must be something going on. I don't know why put these back in. Let's say they're the same at least. Listen, it's one of those things. Actually, you know what? Let's lube them up. We can actually like just test it right now. Why am I not doing that? Like, why is that not my first thought? Is just I do two stabs. All right. This went from having everything all figured out to now we're testing. True, right? On stream, my brain, small, smooth. Off stream, it's wrinkly, like a 95-year-old man. JK, I'm not smart. I'm an idiot. So I have an Overwatch account named I'm an Idiot. I think the price is good design. I haven't looked into the Space Cyber Voyager, Space 65 Cyber Voyager. I have obviously I have a Bauer among some additional 65% coming in. Some of them are not ones I get to keep, but I feel like whenever I get a board, what color do you want your Baka? What set are you going to put on it? Dude, Chewy just got his Fiel done in like a Stormtrooper white. I haven't seen a picture yet, but I'm assuming it looks amazing. You really like lime on it? Dude, get it done in like... Get it done in like a gray or like a... Keeping it a really light silver. Yeah, true. That could be worth. Wanted 7V until it raised it's not a 7U or 6.25U bottom row. Interesting. Like anodized white? That'd be interesting. You know what you should do? Try to see if you can find a place that'll do like the chrome, like the metallic chrome Cerakote. All right. Do I prefer 7U? I do. 7U I like better. At first, I did not. At first, I preferred 6.25 because I thought I needed the 4 keys on the right side. But then I realized that I didn't. So I prefer the more symmetrical bottom row. I think it just looks more aesthetically pleasing. And, you know, if I did need those 4 keys, I can suck it up and use a layer, because I would say a good majority of our hobby is aesthetics. Like, Things that don't necessarily have anything to do with the actual board. And so, like, why am I worried about having a delete key here and keeping the pipe key? I'll put the pipe key on a layer and just have delete be where the pipe key normally is. Or not pipe key, but tilde. Dun, dun, dun. Granted, I don't need the pipe key either. All right. What about y'all? Am I the only one there? Am I the only one that prefers a 7U? I feel like I'm probably not. I feel like that's a common thing at this point. 7U all day. There you go. Yeah, that was definitely more difficult to put in than needed. Dun, dun, dun. I see a lot of people use dielectric grease on their stabs. Is there? So, Goggles X. The big plus to dielectric grease is, one, the cost over 205. 205 is, you know, when you think about it, it's very expensive in comparison. But my thing with 205, the reason why I think it's worth it, is because dielectric grease kind of, as well as super lube, they kind of harden over time. They like gunk up, they get like, it gets stuff in it and then it hardens and then it just kind of like goes away. And 205 does that, but it takes much longer. So your time of use for a board that's, for a stab that's lubed with 205 before you have to like touch it up is much lower. Whereas the reason why that's happening is because you can't get drops on Mixer. Drops are not enabled on anywhere except for Twitch. Because Courage JD was talking about the same thing about, oh, what do you think would happen if I was streaming? You know, if I had drops enabled on YouTube, how many viewers do you think I'd have? Because he's like one of the few people that streams to YouTube that would have gotten it. Dude, here's my thing. Everyone's worried about whether or not their like viewer count is still there, but in reality, with their deals, viewer count doesn't matter anymore. That's like the reason why they went. They don't have to worry about views. They don't have to worry about subs. They're there because of their personality. Right? Like that's one of the first times in this like content world we live in now where that's been able to happen for, you know, a streamer. Like YouTubers get paid based on, you know, the deals that they have or the views and the ad revenue that they get. Whereas, you know, streamers get, like, streaming, you make, unless you have a crap load of viewers, like in the like 5,000 range, you're not making a ton of money off of ads. You know, all of your money is basically, you know, donations and subscriptions. And it's kind of frowned upon to run ads on Twitch. Not like it actually is frowned upon, but it's like, you know, I think it's a little bit looked down upon to run ads. So it's not like streamer, it's not like you can run ads like the way YouTube would, where, you know, if we stream 2 hours, 3 nights a week. If we did like a normal TV show would, or a YouTube video, and we ran ads every, 7 to 8 minutes, yeah, we'd make a lot more money, but it doesn't, that's not good content, right? Then people miss out on the content, which sucks. If Twitch could make it, I know they had that thing where you could have like studio view and you could watch the content, but while the ad was happening, that was cool. But like if there was a way where they could figure out how to make the content stop or pause during an ad, I think people would run more ads and people would be a little bit more, streamers would make more money and they wouldn't be as reliant on the viewers for their livelihood. Right? Which would be cool. Smaller streamers would make more money. Overall, the site would make more money because there'd be more incentive for brands to get involved because those ads get run more. Right? This haircut looks so good. Excuse my rant about how Twitch should make it easier to monetize without people having to pay money. I don't think Mixer will shut down, because it's done by Microsoft. Like, they're invested in it at this point. What's up, Cartoon Menu One? How are you doing, my dude? How is the school from home life? I'm assuming that you were doing. Goggles X. That's kind of how it works a lot of times. You get the board in last. Sometimes the caps, but more often than not, it's the board. Pretty bored. School is really boring. I can imagine, man. Yeah, your switches can sit lubed. There's a couple people I know that they lube their switches real early. Like, basically, whenever they get their switches, they lube them, and it's like 4 or 5 months before they get their board. It's never a bad thing to be planned out, Like, that was one of the very early episodes that we had here on Mechs on Deck, was like planning out your builds, making sure that you had, things planned out, because it's good to know. I feel like that keeps you from yo-yoing back and forth. Really, until you get to a point where you have like a backstock of like key sets to put on things. It's good to plan out. What up, Rid Wonka? What board am I building? Oh, what board is he building? Yeah, what board are you building? What board did you get? Are Moss tactiles or the linears? They are the linears. All right. It's time for the test, chat. It's time for the test. Always remember to be careful with your JST connector. Gets damaged. What stabilizers are those? So this is the Durock stabs that you can get from Novel Keys. This is a combo of the C3 palm stabilizers with the Durock's sliders. And what we're doing right now is we're going to test it out to figure out which one works better. Yeah, dude, this PCB is nuts. Like, look at how clean that is. Look at how clean that looks. I mean, it's so clean you can see my fingerprints. But it looks awesome. I love the outline. It looks so good though. Like, so clean. So freaking clean, man. All right. It is a little bit bent. See it? Can I not bend it back without breaking it? I think that was kind of like a thing. They were all a little bit. That help? A little bit. I'm out of the loop on these new staffs. I know, me too. I was out of the loop on it until I watched Brian build them for the Bauer he did. Also, these this looks sick. Like that looks sweet. Just throwing it out there. The purple with the like teal. I don't want to change the bit out. I'm assuming I can use the same screws. Dude, that bend is gonna mess with me. Alright, it's the moment of truth. Which one will we build the board with? In the hole. This one doesn't want to stay in as well. That's funny. Interesting. What up, Olinsky? What you doing, my dude? You having a good Tuesday? Enjoying this beautifully overcast week that we're having here in Dallas, that you're probably not in Dallas. Actually, I know you're not in Dallas. It's been like, it was beautiful for most of last week. But so far this week, it's been really overcast and gross. I will say, as far as like, I like the fact that these have the metal thread, or the Durock housings have the metal thread or the screw to go in. If I could. Work. Just it seems so much more secure. It's raining the past couple days here. Damn. Raining in the Calis. Yeah, dude. I'm just trying to figure out which one I like more. All right. All right, chat. It's a moment of truth. Got to put some switches in here to keep this plate from. I will say what's nice about this is like for these times when I do these build streams, I don't have to worry about like being like, oh, I gotta wake up in the morning, you know, can't go super late. Whereas here I'm like, dude, I can go as long as I want. I ain't gotta do anything tomorrow. Alright. How do polycarb plates feel versus alum plates? Polycarb plates, I feel like they have a different sound characteristic. You know? Well, you don't know because you wouldn't be asking the question if you knew. That was a dumb statement. But no. I'll be using not using these for the actual should switch that. It's like let's see. This is overlubed, but I think it's because of the housing. The housing is so tight when you use these. Wonder if I can just like literally like this is not scientific. It's better. Plate is rattling against the top. Okay. I like the straight Durex. I like the straight Durex. It's the same. Yeah. I feel like the combo will sound better overall. These feel better though. Which, as much as I care about sound, these have less friction. Because these housings are a lot tighter. It's gonna mess up some of these films. Do that. There we go. Because these have less because these are tighter stabs overall. The housing is tighter than the C3 housings plus C3 stems. I have tried that and I was not the biggest fan, which is why this is almost purely for sound IMO. See, I prefer something to feel better than to sound better. I'm actually going to leave that stab in there. Just me. If you like them, can't use the Duroc housing with a C3 slider. Pops out. This is a Bauer, so I need all those. Back. I'm just gonna mix these up. I don't care, they're all stabs. I like they're to that. Just go leave the housing. I thought that Zeal felt better alone than mixing Zeal and sounded a bit better. Yeah, I think it sounds better overall. I mean, feels better. Sounds better. I don't know about sound 100% yet. Some clear switch films. I bought blue ones because they're the only ones in stock. So I bought these at, I believe, the switch films I used here. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. You can kind of see it a little bit. Can you? Not really. Not really. But I bought clear ones from Keeb. I don't remember what it was called. Keeb. Or Keeb. Kebo.store. That's where I bought these. They're a little bit thinner than the they're a little bit thinner than the TX ones. It's Keeb.store. Kebo.store. Kebo.store. Here, I'll put it in chat. They have clear, black, white. They don't have any other fancy colors. They just have clear, black, and white. But they are still polycarbonate. They're pretty inexpensive as well. I don't think you need to film creams. Like, I wouldn't film creams, TBH. I think films definitely have their place, but I think people are kind of overdoing the films right now. You don't need it for everything. Sometimes it just makes your life harder. Just like, at that point, Why are you doing this? Why do to yourself? Why make hard work for yourself? All right, so let me even that out a little bit because this is the ones that I wiped off. All right. Well, thank you for joining me on my escapade into does Eric like the C3 stab combo? We have discovered that I do not. You got those films a few days ago? What do you think, my doggy? They're a bit thinner than the TX ones, which is nice. Gives you the same benefits without the hassle, I feel. I did see the online manual. I kind of glanced through it. Spent a lot of time putting that together. Will I follow it exactly? If I do, we'll see. Probably won't. Because I'm not like looking at it. I should probably pull it up. I might pull it up. Would recommend. I'll pull it up. Get the full experience of building the Bauer. Alright. Let's pull this up. Slap at the base.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what up? How you doing, Jax? Good to see you, my doggy. You having a fantastic Tuesday? Let's see. All right. All right. Let's pull up this build guide. Make sure we're not messing anything up. Things you need. All right, so we're still on step 1. Daddy, this looks great. Yeah, we're already there. Chat. We're doing this. You cannot wait to build your Polaris. I've been saying this for the past 3 months. When do you get it? You're still waiting, I'm assuming? Obviously. That was a dumb question. But have they told you when they plan on shipping yours out? Still waiting on shipping notification. That sucks, man. I know a lot of people have gotten them. I don't know if it was specific colors that were shipped out. That's why I didn't know if you had, if maybe you had purchased it like secondhand or something. You're just waiting on someone. Ship them out in batches randomly. I keep peeking over on my laptop that's sitting on the table trying to see if I got a notification on my personal Twitch account that's watching a Valorant streamer. Is anyone excited for Valorant? I know I keep talking about it, but I'm excited, so I'm gonna keep talking about it. I know Teha was playing it. Give him $1 for your E-White. Ooh, E-White sounds awesome. E-White is such a cool looking color. It's very basic, but it's so pretty. Hyped. 3 hours today, didn't get a code. Dude, it looks great. I'm excited. I'm gonna grind the game, I think. Maybe try to Try to make some cool content around it while I have all this time. If I can get a key. Please, Riot. Please give me a key. Please give key. Thank you. Donka. It's pretty good, but servers are high. Yeah, the servers like went down across like all of it. All of whatchamacallit. Riot. It wasn't just Valorant that went down. Or we're struggling. I'm just excited that there's a new game that people are stoked about that's not a BR. I'm tired of BRs. Armorlo. I think they are GAT. They're just a recolor other GAT around linear. I don't know exactly which one, but other people have said that they are just recolored. I don't know for sure. I cannot speak in certainty about the GAT Merlots. It might was delivered yesterday, now it's just in the network. Oof, unlucky. Recolored reds. Okay. I haven't checked that email out, so I haven't looked at my email. My day has existed of me sleeping, waking up, making myself some nachos, and watching people play Valorant. This one was like kind of lubed. I'll lube it up again. So just dip this mug. Spread her out. Let's even this out. Bottom anyway. Dude, there you go, man. Get you some. Has anyone else in chat gotten their 8008? Would I use the Merlots with the I would not use them with the stock springs because I do not like 45 gram actuation. That is way too light for my personal taste. That is like way, way, way too light. What am I using? I like 67 and higher. TBH. I'm going to make red holy pandas, but they're going to make red yaks anymore. Yeah, they haven't for a while, but you might be able to find them on the aftermarket. Which could be worth checking out. Yeah, 67 gram bottom out or 78. I think if those are 45 actuation, I would assume it's like 55, maybe 60 bottom out. So those are going to be light. Those are going to be light. Yippee. Yes, I'm losing a lot of stabs. There are a lot of lube on the wire because my experience, wire lube is the most important part. Right now I do. I think aesthetically they look better. Than the GMKs. Right now they definitely feel better than the GMKs. They sound a little bit different, but I do enjoy that. If you have old stock GMK stabs that don't have the wire issues and other housing issues, then I say go for GMK because they're cheaper. But these are pretty, pretty decently priced. They have some features that the GMK stabs do not, like being pre-clipped, having pre-threaded housings, which is awesome. I think, personally, I think having the pre-threaded housing makes it that much easier to get them the right level of tightness, whereas in the GMKs, not having it just be, plastic, doesn't really do it for me. Doesn't really do it for me as much. What is the keep above me? That is a Baka 60. Cerakoted in olive drab green. Right. That is a board my co-host Chewy made. There's only 20 of them in the world at this time. They are looking at possibly doing a run of them. But as of right now, they're not sure. It's a plate polycarb. It is not polycarbonate. It is palm, which is similar but different. Sounds a little bit different. Palm, I feel, gives you the most natural sound of the switch, whereas I think polycarb has a little bit more of like almost like a glassy feel, in my opinion, or glassy sound, not feel. Okay. All right. We need this enter. Actually, no, we don't. You accent enter. For right now, we'll do this enter. I know we are for sure doing accent spacebar, because that's literally the entire reason why I bought this obscure kit. It's for the accent spacebar. Oh, so sexy. What's up, Tarson? How you doing, my doggy? All right. Let me take my headphones off. Hmm. All right, I'm not exactly happy with that spacebar. When is Valorant gonna release? I think probably either summer or early fall, I would assume.
Oh, howdy.
Yeah, I think summer. A little bit more. This is why it pays to have a extremely thin brush. You can do small adjustments like this without having to take lube with 205. Like this is a Princeton Velvet Touch 0 round. Five over 0 Princeton Petite. This is a little bit longer. And then this is a 20 over 0. This one's like, it's kind of messed up because it's been in a drawer, but I don't really use it very much. This one's like very precise. All right, let's see. Are vintage blacks bottoms any different? Well, vintage blacks have been used heavily for a very long time. That's what would make them vintage is the use to them. Music stopped. I always want my spacebar to be a little bit overlubed, honestly, because of the fact that it's probably your most used key. Especially you are using it for gaming, which this is. Not the right key. All right, cool. That is good. Now we move on to actually putting the switches in. Yay. Move this over. Let's put put this guy. There we go. So you can see what we're going to be, what the final product, what's going in. Alrighty. Oh. But hey, nothing broke. That back there. All right. As Chewy always says, it's important to keep your area clean. I agree with him. So these are switches I'm using. These are mauves, lubed with 205 grade 0 and filmed. Pretty excited to put these in another board. I put those, these are not the same switches I used for the Rect 1800. Those were different mauves, still mauves. But they weren't the ones that I used for the Rect. If you were here for that build a couple weeks ago, those were not filmed. They were just lubed. Bubbles. Bubble War 5, thank you. So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to... do I film every switch? I do not. These are the only switches that'll be on my personal board that I've actually ever filmed. As you can see right here, I've got switches kind of all over the place. Because this PCB, especially because this PCB is a little bit warped, it is going to be very important for me to make sure that all of these switches, why is this, oh, there's something on the tip of the iron that is burning. Unlucky. But it's going to be important for me to make sure that I maintain pressure onto this PCB and plate to make sure that it corrects as much of that flex as possible. Again, if you are confused as to why I am soldering upside down, it is because I am left-handed. Especially on a PCB like this, it's easier to solder because these, with it being so close, it's easy to get one of these off if you were to go on the underside. So whereas if I was right-handed, I'd probably come at it from this angle. Being left-handed, I come at it from this angle, destroy these, and then the actual PCB gets messed up. So what soldering iron do I use? I use a Heiko FX 8801, I think. Or it's FX 888D. That's actually what it is. The 8801 is the actual iron itself, but the whole thing is the FX 888D. 888D. 3/8 a D. How do I know if a switch is over lubed? If it struggles to return. If it's struggling to return and it feels mushy, like if it's like a mushy, like it squishes, then you know it's over lubed. All right. Let's get this let's tin this up a little bit. Okay, solder. Let me grab my mat. Since I don't want to solder onto my desk. In fact, I'm gonna move these out of here because solder a little. Just a literal little piece of advice. Solder does ruin Cerakote. So if you are solder time, there's Delphin. If you are soldering, you have a Cerakote board, it is definitely worth it to kind of put that away, to where it can't get, you know, any kind of solder on it, because it can ruin the finish. All right, got my nice little mat. Sorry, what's up, Mentorly? How you doing? How is your Animal Crossing life going? Or whatever you call it. I don't play. But Delphin, thank you for the 100 bits. I don't know if I said thank you. Need to tend this though. Wanting to 10. Scott Flick, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Delphin, this is your time. This is your favorite moment of the build. The soldering. What parts of your switches do you lube? On linears, I lube decently, lightly, pretty much everything. TBH. TBH. What's up, Stash? How you doing? Tempted to get the 7V. Anyone else? No. I was. But I'm like, one, I don't have a job. Two, I've gotten a whole bunch of boards since it came out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of happy. Kind of happy with what I got, especially getting this. And I have some other stuff coming in soon I'm really excited for. I'm more focused on getting key sets now. But it is a beautiful board. Not taking anything away from that. I would recommend it if you are looking for a 75% and you didn't want to get in on the Godspeed. What about artisans? I'm just starting to get into artisans a little bit, you know? I won a bad luck a couple weeks ago. I haven't received it yet because I think it's at my parents' house. That one's not in the way. That is. You just want to make sure there's no gaps between the bottom of the switch and the PCB. It looks like there's a small one there, but it's because there's a little like nub on the bottom of the switch. But you definitely hit me up if you're looking for any in particular. Will do, man. What is this song? This song that is playing right now is called Malfunction. I have not checked yet mentally. Actually haven't sent out your deals. I haven't had a chance to go to the post office. I will send them tomorrow. I was planning on heading over to the post office, going to my parents' house, picking up some mail. I'm checking my mail. I haven't really left the house, to be honest. The Rona times have got me scared. No need to leave the house. What is necessary? I need to get those out to you, you know? That is necessary. I consider that necessary. What were we talking about? Does the Jules sound hollow to me at all? Honestly, I would say for anything, take every single typing test that you hear with an absolute grain of salt. Because there are so many factors when recording a typing test. And I don't want this to come across as like crazy or anything, but there has never been a truly accurate typing test. No one records truly accurate typing tests. And if someone tells me they do, they are wrong. Because there are factors between the microphone used, the cable, what it's plugged into, the room you're listening through, the speakers you're listening to, the axis that was the mic was placed at when recording. There are so many factors, so I would take everything with a grain of salt. If you listen to them for to get somewhat of an idea, or you enjoy it, that's saying like no one has ever recorded an accurate sound. No, it's not true. That's not. I'm saying in terms of typing tests, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Just like, if you are a musician, there's a reason why certain vocalists continually go back to the same art, like the same studio for vocals, because they know the sound. They like the sound that they get. Typing test and a natural sound, like if someone went to a studio and recorded a typing test. Oh, my camera's like kind of red. This is why we go see live music, yeah. It's funny because I think people, they read too much into the typing tests, IMO. My camera is like not straight right now. There we go. People read too much into the typing tests. Don't make the typing test decide whether or not you want to purchase a board, in my opinion. Unless it sounds absolutely atrocious, then maybe. But like, if it sounds kind of meh, it's going to sound way different when you get it. Exactly, Turson. Find someone that you have like if you listen to a lot of Nathan's typing tests, then you have a good judgment of what his typing tests sound like. You know? Again, We are all kinds of off here. I don't know. I think I moved my camera sometime. I'm not worried about it. It's not straight, but it's bothering the crap out of me. Hear what switches sound like lube, that's all. Yeah, if you have one person that you watch a lot, like if you watch a lot of Nathan's typing tests, then you judge them against Nathan's other typing tests, not based off of your actual boards. And so when people are like get all upset about a typing test, I'm like, listen, man, it's different. Yeah, see, that's the way to do it. That's why I did what I did with when I tested out lilacs and mauves. Was I wanted to do the same board, the same plate material with the same switch. You know, remove as many factors as possible. Yeah, but I can also respect, I see what you're saying, but I can also respect them not altering the typing test to make it sound any different. You know? Because they very easily could have. Dude, the mobs do look great. All right. Chat, it is bothering me that my camera is not straight. Sorry. There you go. Any intel on lilac restock? Soon is what I have heard. Sorry for the shakiness there. All I'm saying though, wearing a long sleeve shirt today for this, not a great idea. Your boy is sweating. I'm hot. Could have played a factor not knowing the key. Still looks great. Yeah. Like, the thing is, you can also modify a board so much right now to make it sound the way you want. You can use things like shelf liner. You can use, you can lube switches in different ways. You can use films. You can use different sorbithenes thicknesses. You can do MK Ultra Foam. There's so much that you can do to change the way that it sounds that honestly at this point I almost wouldn't even let sound be a 100% determining factor because you can modify it so much. Are mauves ever being restocked? I think it's soon for both lilacs and mauves. But with that, Dewey Vuitton, I'm just some random guy on the internet. You don't have to listen to me, but that's my 2 cents on typing tests. And I think there are some people that share that same opinion as far as like, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, you know? It's gonna sound different in your room, on your desk.
Ooh, boy howdy.
Ooh, boy howdy. Dewey Vuitton, thank you for the follow, my dude. Appreciado. Hope you are enjoying this build. I know I am. All right, the mauves are in. Let's make sure we didn't bend any. Oh, I already see one. A banter. Alright, that one's good now. Alright, first row's good. Second row, one. Oh man. So many. So many. This is not a normal thing for me. What happened?
Oh, boy, howdy.
Oh boy, howdy. Gary the Snail. How you doing, my dude? You enjoying this fantastic Tuesday evening? The only thing I don't like about using this little tool, this little guy, when I'm using films, is that it does kind of mess up the film a little bit. Messes it up. Am I going to play Valorant? I'm definitely going to try to play Valorant if I can get a dang key. Come on. Oh, that one like bent like in half and half. Come on, bud. Come on. All right. I'm gonna use actual tweezers. Where'd those little guys go? These curved ones. Well, I bent these. Cool. That's not strong enough. Are you gonna play Valorant, Jerk Chicken? Are you excited? Looking forward to it? I'm gonna save this Switch. I'm not giving up on you, Switch. You will return. There we go. Now she's coming. Boom. What switches are these? These are Mauves. They are a linear switch by Duroc. Similar to an alpaca. Very similar to an alpaca switch. All right. I think we good. Let me just reconfirm that I didn't mess anything else up. Cool. That one's like bent after. Honestly, I think some of those were probably bent before, because I did use these switches in a hot swap build. All right, cool chat. We can solder now. I don't need you. Put in there. A little petri dishes. Thanks, Grandma. Appreciate it for those petri dishes. It's always good to re-tin your iron. Make sure it's nice and get in the flow. What mounting style is this board? This board uses a gasket mounting style, which basically means there are little strips of a flexible material between both sides of the plate and the actual board itself. I don't remember the exact material being used. Some people use Poron. Some people use like a O-ring, like a rubber O-ring. But it is dependent 100% on the the board. Can imagine how difficult is it to solder? Never soldered before. It's not too bad. This is very easy soldering. You know, this is just try not to get to a temperature that you can go comfortably quick and try not to go too fast and mess up, and try not to go too slow to where you know, burn out one of the pads. But it's pretty easy overall, I would say. What do you think of the PCB spring mount? Similar to, I think it will be. I haven't really paid attention to the 7V in a while, honestly. If I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of people are very excited for it, and very rightfully so. It's not a board I'm 100% interested in, so I haven't really paid much attention to it. I think any mounting style that's like that, like similar to the spring leaf stuff, new mounting styles are cool in my book. I would have to look further in depth to that to see, you know, how it's mounted, to see if it's exactly similar to the thermal. But in my opinion, a new mounting style, I'm down, honestly. I'm down. Changes for things, innovating things, all cool in my book. Also, Wilba's like way smarter than me, so I'm pretty sure the thermal mounting system is probably going to be pretty sweet once people get it. Wilba's like a crazy smart guy. When you're soldering, though, forever, who is it that's asking? Russopolis. I don't know how to say your name, man. But whenever you're soldering, if you are looking to get into keybs, I like to say you want a TP on your solder points, not a dome. Like, are you right-handed? No, I'm left-handed. I'm soldering upside. I solder the board upside down mentally. You want a TP, not a dome. Cones, not domes. Yeah. I don't know if you can see this. It's struggling. But you want them to be like cones. And in my opinion, you want to fill up. You want it to be fully covering the actual metal area. Some people could go without that, but I think some people like a little bit more solder, some people like a little bit less. I prefer a little bit more solder in my opinion. Wait, is the camera flip? No, it's not. It's not. Camera's not flipped. I solder the board upside down because I'm left-handed, and on this PCB, the capacitor is so close that if I was to do it this way, I would literally be soldering on top of those. And I would probably remove those or damage them. And I don't really want to deal with that. So I solder upside down. So then I'm on this side and I don't touch those at all. Because left-handedness. It's thinking. It's using your brain. How not to damage your board when you're left-handed. And some people are like, oh, well, you run the risk of like damaging the PCB mount pins on the Switch. And I'm like, you know, I really could care less. Like, because at the end of the day, I could literally just push them through with the soldering iron if I needed to. I would rather damage a useless piece of the leg on the Switch than the actual PCB. That one gone? I missed one. I missed two. Holy sh... Oh, man. How much did this cost? A group buy this board was 500. It was about 550. So I have to take this switch out because it's... pin on this switch. It's not good. Pin is bent. This is the part that I do not like soldering. Having to remove. This is why having a desoldering gun is the best, but I don't have botanical. Surely these are going to be less expensive. GMK camping versus GMK botanical. That's an interesting one. I would say botanical, but that's because I don't necessarily like the red of the this one does not want to come out. There's like just a little bit of solder on the inside. Side. Shit. Unlucky. This is why you quadruple check them. You really want to make sure. God, doesn't want to come. All right, now we do the trick of putting more soldering on, followed by taking it off. I was scared when I saw the latest render. Here we go. Now it came out. I hate desoldering without a desoldering gun. Just have you know that. I also have to now fix this switch. I'm doing this off screen, sorry. Ooh, this switch was already bent. It was like already bent and now it's even more bent. So, what do y'all think? Botanical or camping? I'm thinking botanical, personally. That's because I don't like the red. Chewy, I know, would say botanical. Or, I mean, camping. He would not say botanical. He would say camping. Botanical is going to be hot for sure. It will be. I need to take this switch apart. The mod pics of camping. I mean, are we talking about OG camping or are we talking about the Hiragana, whatever, the sub-legend? Because it's those two. I am way more down for botanical than camping. I think, or botanical than camping R2. OG camping? OG camping, that's hard. That's rough. It is rough. It damaged that switch a little bit, but you know what? It's okay. Not like in a way that actually matters. It's not like I'm gonna ever put LEDs in the switch anyway. Alright. We go back. And if you're wondering when I say I damaged the switch a little bit, see how this one's like a little bit messed up? That's what I mean. I bent this, but I'm not going to use LEDs, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect anything. Excuse me. Sorry for bending. Apologize. It's not very professional. All right. Now we go back. Solder this that we just spent all that part. Well, it's dirty. Where can I find lube? Everywhere seems to be sold out. Well, if you are looking for some 205 grade 0, head on over to, I just said that 3 times, I'm sorry, mexondeck.project.link and pick yourself up some 205 grade 0. For $40, you can get, I think it's like 15 mils. It's like a ridiculous price. See, but I'm not about the RGB life. I recently, both Chewy and myself actually, turned off the RGB in our PCs. I have no RGB in my life. In terms of like I've got RGB lights that I turn purple that you can see behind me. But other than that, I'm good. Any upcoming switches that I'm interested in? RGB is kind of gross and distracting. Now, gross, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say it's gross. I will say it's distracting, in my opinion. It's distracting, especially when, you know, you spend so much money on your keycaps and you spend so much money on the board. I want those to be what shines, not the RGB. I will say I do like underglow if I did have to do that, because it does still allow the board to the board and the keycaps to shine themselves. Not physically shine, obviously, but it allows them to be the important piece. Am I getting GMK Bingsu? I am. I didn't answer the question about the switches. I don't, not really, honestly, as far as switches. I'm excited for there's been rumblings of a ink tactile variant, or a cream tactile variant. Not ink. I'm excited for that. That will be cool. There's been rumblings about that, so going to be extra marshmallows. I'm not sure if there will be. I'm sure there probably will. I would assume that they didn't sell the entire stock. Miniver, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Come on. There we go. Ooh, boy, howdy. Frequency, OL, thank you. Delphin, was that to the tactile cream variant that you said what to? Because I know, right? Isn't that going to be sick if it actually happens? They've been talking about it for a while. I don't want to know. One in. Okay, so it's an upcoming switch. There's some kind of NK blueberry. I did not get in on marshmallows. Yeah, I don't know what the blueberries are. Maybe that's the tactile cream. Who knows? Mike does. Maybe a few other people, but I don't. I don't talk to Mike very often. Or at all, really. I've talked to him like twice. Cool dude. Very busy man. Can't imagine. He's very busy. All right. All right. Now we test it. Turn that off for a second. Come on. All right. Cool. All right, can we make this work? Let's see. Properties. We want to go to VIA. Hoo-hoo, we're using VIA now, boys. Oof. Oh. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. Oops. Why is that left windows? What is this? Function? Yes. Okay. Alright. Now let's just show you how easy it is to reconfigure on VIA. I want this to be caps lock. I want this to be... Where is it at? Where's delete? Turn on split backspace. Actually, no, that's right. Right. That's right. I don't want that to be on Windows. I want that to be left control. M01. I think that's all we want. Yeah, I want this to be delete. Actually, no, I want this to be tilde. Right? And this to be delete. Yeah, that's what I want. I want this to be tilde. So Nope, that's comma. Why did I do that? Tilde, not comma. Where's tilde? So far away. Yeah, tilde. There we go. That's what I want. Wee. Wee. Oh, I missed a whole row. Just to show. It's already updated, boys. That is why Via is the greatest thing. All right. All right, now that we are done with that, we can unplug our solder. I'll leave that plugged in, actually. Actually, no, I'm gonna plug this. Okay. Put our build there. We can roll up our solder. Yo, what's up? Are those mobs? They are, Sir Doggo. Do many boards use Via? Some do. You can go to their website and see if your board supports it. I'm going to roll up my Canon Keys desk mat. Bring back the bottom and the top. My Bauer. All right, so this goes in upside down. That is the first thing that you do. Put that guy in. Your screwdriver. Grab your screwsies. These little guys. Not the gold ones, those are for stabs. I do want to say props to Dixie for using screws that all have the same size head. Same size. Also, you don't want to over tight anything here, especially with something that's gasket mount. Even on these, you don't want to over tight because you can cross thread. Is there any real difference between UMK and Via? So Via has instant flashing. So like I was able to change the layout of this instantly. I don't have to compile it. I don't have to upload it and flash it. I just press a key. I choose what I want it to be. I click what I want it to be, and then I'm good. It makes it so much easier, especially if if you're new. I mean, even if you've been in the hobby for a long time, you want to try some more complex layouts, more complex things. It is awesome for that. Highly recommend. In a very weird. I couldn't get lined up. That's what she said. there. I do want to make sure it's nice and lined up. I'm gonna clean off the not that this matters, but matters to me a little bit. Like to be a little bit clean. All right, let's put this guy on top. All right. Then flip it over. There's a little bit of play there. But what you want to do is I'm going to put these screws in. You don't want to go super tight. You want it to be just barely finger tight. If you smush it down, you run the risk of cross-threading your screws. 1, 2. You basically make the fact that there are gaskets. It like doesn't matter at that point, you know. Let's start with the middle. I'm not going full yet because I do. Oh, there's a light. Yeah, there is. I'm not going full yet because I do want to actually I want to go back. I'll put some on. Make sure, because it is a gasket mount, I want to make sure that everything lines up well. Yeah. It makes it really easy to see. Little wow stick. Link's tail. Welcome. All right. Let's do some corners. Let's make sure. I'm not gonna use that escape. Corners, let's make sure that it is. Oh, and that it's not out of whack. Ooh. All right. I'll show y'all something here of what the point of this is. Point of doing this. Link's tail. Alright. Alright. So I don't know if you can see. See how there's the gap right here up top? But there's like almost no gap on the bottom, like how tight it is down here. And actually loosen it up a little bit. Shift. This is just being nitpicky. It's not like it's actually gonna like hurt anything. Some of these screws are gonna fall out, but hey. I just want to get it nice and even. This song is a slapper. It's on the tree. But it doesn't really matter.
Boy, howdy.
All right. All right, now, I don't know if you can see, but it's a lot more even space-wise from the top to the bottom. So that is what is important there for that. But now, let's get some caps on. Let's put these bad boys on. Did we use the X? I think we used the X. It's my keycap set. Why am I asking y'all? We're using the X. We're gonna use the X. Alright, use the X. We're gonna use accent spacebar upside down because we're gentlemen here. It's gonna sound good. What else? Do we need any other accents? Oh, accent enter. We are gonna use accent enter. Darker X is better. I just like the little touch of pink, dude. This is gonna get replaced with a Rama cap. With the Rama. The Rama cap. Do the enter. Oof. Something. It's not. Interesting. Okay. All right. No, I changed this to delete, not home. already know this is going to sound good. Dude, it is going to sound good. Dun. Actually, I don't want this cap. This one. We are civilized people here. We're going for even. When Keyless 65 has to be the best looking layout. It is, right? It looks so good. Windkeyless Baco looks great too. So dope to look at. Really is, man. I'm excited. What up, Jose? For those of y'all who have GMK 8008, what do you think of the new GMK trays? I think my general consensus is I appreciate and I enjoy the idea. I think the execution maybe wasn't the best. But I do really like the idea of this. I'm not a fan, but yeah, the idea is good. I think that's kind of just about everyone. That's just about everyone's thought process about it. Is, hey, it is a good thought. But will you eat them? I mean, I won't eat them. Trash old trays better. I feel you. But here's the thing. If you trash it, this is better for the environment. It's biodegradable. It's recycled. What's wrong with the execution? Can you elaborate on what I don't like? Okay, so where is it? So I have two things. Two. This, too flimsy. Too flimsy. So what happens is as they ship, when it gets rattled around, this flexes. So caps get all jumbled up on this tray specifically. This one, not so much. This one gets all scrambled. The bottom row, Cartoon 91, was your bottom fine? Because my bottom was like one or two keys were scrambled, but the top was like all kinds of scrambled. This, way too flimsy. Also, they need to figure out a way.
Bye, Cat Cadet, thanks.
They need to figure out a way to where these trays snap together. So what they can do is what I think is possible is if you make this top out of this same recyclable material, but then punch these side things in a way to where it snaps into these corners, it will work out better. It won't flex. Oh, I gotta do J. Dude, you're right. I did not. But if they can fix that, if they they perforate it, not perforate it, but
Howdy.
punch it in a way where it's like an indentation here and an indentation on this side, and it snaps into it and it'll clip in. And you can do the same thing with the bottom tray. You could do the same thing with the bottom tray. You could do the same thing with it here. You could punch this in to where it snaps onto this tray. So that way when you go like this, it snaps in. And then they become one. Because right now, they're not one. There's no way. I can't store it sideways. So. I also think that when they ship it, they should wrap this portion and then put it in the band roll instead of putting this in the band roll and then wrapping it. Because if you wrap this portion, even if you kept this top piece the way it is, it's not going to roll around as much. That's my 2 cents. Also, what up, Singapore? How you doing? While easy and thought that would require some serious machining rework on the machine side. Yes, it would. Dude, it does, man. It looks great. Eating the box? I'm not gonna eat the box. But I guess you could. Oh, man. Oh my god, lost my train of thought. Apparently it's good with sriracha. I mean, maybe. Did we go diving board? Chat? I don't think we go diving board. It is a pretty keyboard. What is up, Hale? How you doing? At least I think that's Hale. It has been a very long time. How are you? It is I. Hailstorm. What is this? What is my layout again? Page up, page down, end? I think. It's not the right row. I'm an idiot. Come on, bud. It's this one. Come on. How do the clicky clacks feel? Dude, F and J nipple OP, they are. Oh. Alright, where's my... There it is. Always have to check. Listen, I don't build very many 65%s. So I'm continually messing up this row height for these last ones. I haven't built to 65% in a long time. It's this one. Nope. Nope, it's not that one. Where is it? Come on, chat. Will I ever find the right page down? I have it right. It is that one. Infinity Blaze. Thank you. It's also weird because things aren't like where they normally are. Oh, it does look good, doesn't it, Chewy? Alright. Chewy got a Valorant keycode. I'm surprised he's here. Have you played it all now, Chewy? Been dealing with shit all night. Did you get your computer stuff all squared away? Oof. GPU up and running, my second monitor got fucked up. Oh, what happened? Alright. Baka, you've been replaced. Wait, it's in the middle. See which one's heavier. Baka? I feel like even with a not brass plate, the Baka would be heavier. Dude, the Baka's heavy as crap. Come on. Alright. Okay. This is the bottom. This is that booty. It's a brass booty. The butt looks good. Dude. Hashtag key butts right here. This is the set. I think it's 8008 is a hard set to get. Let me see. I want to look at my phone and see what it looks like. Let's see. This looks. Yeah, dude, the Bauer is beautiful. That curve. Oof. Oof. Alright. Let's plug her in.
Oh, boy, howdy.
Give her a quick little test. Let me open Via back up. Thank you for the follows. Free Hong Kong 2020 and IMOX TV. Yeah, this board looks pretty awesome. Just make sure everything works still. Never know what could happen. Okay. All right. In fact, let me plug it. All right. Y'all want to hear it? You want to hear what it sounds like? Let me... That's not the right one. Yeah, dude, this sounds real good. Like, it sounds real good. See it on this camera. See if it looks any different. Oof. Chat off. Oof. So that is the Bauer by Dixie Mech with mauves lubed with 205 grade 0 and lubed and filmed. Man, there you go, Dixie. What'd you miss? The build? Or the typing test? Man. Oh, sorry. It's hard to put this board down without like feeling like you're slamming it. It is very hard. Does filming change the feel at all? You missed the build. All right, so here. I've moved my mouse pad back a little bit, but so to me, as far as for feel, the actual film doesn't do much in terms of the feel itself. It does a lot for the stability of it. So the Switch itself, it tightens up the tolerances on the Switch, so it doesn't have as much wobble, which is really nice. Because the T1s and the Alpacas and all of these Durox switches have issues where they have a lot of wobble. They're real wobbly and they almost have like a clicky sound to them. This really tightens that up. You lose that quick clicking sound. But man, this thing, it feels really good. I like the meme of the nipple keycaps, but I don't think I can keep the nipple keycaps. That's gonna bother me. That's gonna bother me. Are alpacas and mauves the same aside from spring weight? I think they are very close. I think the real answer to that question is we don't 100% know, but they are very similar. All right. I'm excited. This looks incredible. I can't tell if this looks closer here. I think it looks closer. So let me get it onto my actual, like, properly color corrected monitor. Yeah, the pink looks better on this. At least to me. Pink looks so much better here. Oof. Look at how freaking sexy that is, dude. Dude, I don't know how you go 10 out of 10 if this is 9. That's all I'm saying. Thoughts? You're a TKL guy? Mod colored tilde? Dude, you gotta. It's the symmetry, dude. It's that symmetry life. My thoughts of this? I obviously need more time, Dixie, but man, it feels great. These mobs feel great. The board sounds amazing. Yeah, the board sounds great. But with that being said, we are nearing the end of the stream. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I hope everyone enjoyed listening to me type on the board, watching me put this bad boy together. It's definitely a crazy board. Also, be sure to come on back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central. We are doing something very, very cool. We have like 11 different artisans, like either 10 or 11 different artisan makers coming together to do Quarantined on Deck. Tyler Durden's there. You can see he's one of them. CYO Caps. Yeah, big shout outs to him. He put a lot of this together. He had the idea and was like, hey, can we do something like this? And we're like, dude, we would love to. And he kind of took the idea and ran with it. So shout outs to him for putting it together and kind of formulating that idea. But we are going to be giving away tons of artisans that are like one of ones or just one-offs that are made specifically for this. So it's going to start tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time. There's people like CYO Caps, Bad Caps, Sodi Caps, Prime Caps, among tons and tons of other people. Be sure to join our Discord if you want more information about it. It's going to be 11 makers giving away some caps. It's going to be myself, Chewy, and then the makers. It's going to be a lot of fun. So you definitely want to come back for that. And then, of course, be sure to check out our sponsors, switchmod.net, Zap Cables, of course, Dixie Mech. Shout outs to him for making this fantastic board and this absolutely stunning key set. Project Keyboard for actually doing the mobs, which look and sound amazing. Both them and Canon keys, as well as Type Beast. Be sure to check out the products that they are running. Changes every month, so you'll want to bookmark those. When you use those links, it does help us out. With that being said, we will see you tomorrow. I'm going to see if I have someone I can raid. Shoot you over to someone else that might be doing something similar. But I really appreciate y'all coming out by and hanging out with me, spending some time. I am going to raid. Looks like Mech Merlin is doing something very interesting. He is actually porting a TGR Jane V2 into VIA, which is pretty freaking awesome. So I should plug my keyboard in. I am going to raid Mech Merlin. So be sure to check him out. Throw him a follow. He's doing great stuff for the community, porting things into VIA, making QMK better. With that being said, we will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Y'all have a fantastic night. And as always, remember to buy a Switch tester.